All right, welcome to Talkin' Investing. I am Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. Today, I want to do a market update. We're just 1 hour into the trading day on Tuesday, April 26th, and the market is getting beaten up badly, and it's reaching some critical points. So I want to go through what's going on in the market overall. I want to take a look at some critical earnings reports that are coming up today and Thursday, and then I want to show you what the top 5 companies in the U.S. market are doing today, because it's a nightmare for all of them. If you're new to the channel, remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Also, everybody, please smash the like button for us. It helps us out a lot. This is not one of my normal topics, but I wanted to take an overview because the market is at a critical point right now, and I think there's a massive amount of fear, and you can see that in today's trading activity. Everything is down. All 4 major indexes are down. Cryptocurrencies are down big time. The precious metals are sideways. So it's just overall not a good day. It's a big sell-off so far. We'll see how the rest of the day goes. So let's take a look at where the market is at right now. The S&P 500 is down 1.8% on the day. The Dow is down 1.3%. The NASDAQ is down a whopping 2.74%. So that is a huge move. The NASDAQ has been unbelievably volatile over the last 6 months. The Russell 2000 is down 1.6%. So those are big moves on all of the indexes. Obviously, the NASDAQ is getting crushed. And as has been the case, cryptocurrency is trading along with it, and it's getting beat up today as well. Okay, this is a list of the largest American companies by market capitalization. So these are the largest publicly traded companies in America. And what I wanted to show you is, if we look at the top 4, number 2, Microsoft is reporting earnings today. Number 3, Google is reporting earnings today. Number 1, Apple's reporting earnings on Thursday. And number 4, Amazon is reporting earnings on Thursday. So between today, Tuesday, and Thursday, all 4 of the largest companies in the U.S. stock market will be reporting earnings. Tesla already reported earnings. They are the 5th largest company. They're getting taken out today, so typically they're a member of the $1 trillion club, but they're just falling under that because they are getting absolutely decimated today. So Tesla actually reported excellent earnings about a week ago, but nevertheless, they're getting taken out today. So my point being, over the next 3 days, as these companies go, so goes the market by and large. So these are going to be critical earnings reports. I think right now, even an average earning report is not a good thing for the stock market. The pressure seems to be downward in a big way. So based on these 4 companies' earnings reports, I think we are either about to bounce off the bottom and start moving back up, or fall deeper into a bear market. And we are going to find out 2 of these today at the market close. So ahead of these 2 earnings reports, the market is tanking, which means everybody is very afraid of what's going to happen. I'm just going to go through real quick. Microsoft, which reports today, is down 2.4% ahead of earnings. And understand, these are $2 trillion companies, so 2% moves are massive in these companies. Google is down 2.9%. They also report after the bell today. Amazon's down 3.58%. They report on Thursday. Apple's down about 2.3%, and they report on Thursday. So just to round out the top 5, again, Tesla's no longer $1 trillion, at least for today. It's down almost 9% on the day. It is collapsing today. It's been holding 1,000 for several weeks, and clearly today it's under massive selling pressure. So there's the top 5 companies in the U.S., all of them not doing well today at all, and as a result, you can see the overall stock market not doing well. And because most of those are tech stocks, the NASDAQ is really getting crushed today. So if we look at a chart of the NASDAQ, it looks like the NASDAQ peaked back in November, late November, November 22nd. So right now with today's trading activity, the NASDAQ is down 21.5%. So that was about 5 months ago. So that is bear market territory. So the NASDAQ is officially back into a bear market. If we look at this chart, you'll see we've been there twice before. Once on February 24th, and then we quickly recovered. And then again on March 14th, and we bounced off of that again and quickly had a big run up. But we've run almost all the way back down. So we're just less than 2% away from bottoming out again for the 3rd time in the last 3 months. And just in the last 1 month, you'll see the NASDAQ is down over 13%. So the NASDAQ has really been getting beat up. badly. Now, these two earnings reports today will be critical because if Microsoft and Google show strong earnings, that could start to reverse this trend. And then, of course, Apple and Amazon report on Thursday, and most importantly, Apple's earnings tend to have the biggest sway on the market of everything. Prior to the top four companies reporting earnings, the market is in a massive downturn. So this is going to be a key point. If these earnings reports are not what people hoped they are or expected them to be, we could potentially take out these previous lows, and then who knows how low we go, because this is a pretty good line of support. We've bottomed out here. We had a double bottom, so we're potentially looking at a triple bottom, but on bad earnings, we stand the chance of actually breaking below that. And you can see if I zoom out a little, you'll see we bottomed out right back at our May of 2021 lows. So that's over the last year. This line of support has been significant. We are just about to test it right now. So this is a critical moment for the market. If we look at the S&P 500, it's not quite as gloomy, although once again, it is setting up for a potential triple bottom here. So the S&P 500 hit its high on January 4th. So basically in 2022, it's basically been all down. You can see we did have a nice run back. So far this year, we are down 12.2% from the highs for the S&P 500 on January 4th. So this is in correction territory. It's not yet approaching bear market territory, but it's the same situation. You can see we bottomed out in February. We bottomed out again twice here in March, and now we're approaching that again. So the S&P 500 is set up very similarly to the NASDAQ, just the NASDAQ has a more exaggerated effect to the downside, and the NASDAQ is in bear market territory. So lastly, if we take a quick look at the Russell 2000, you'll see that this is down off of its highs from November 8th, and this is back into bear market territory. Like the others, this bottomed out in January, again in February, didn't quite reach there in March, and now we're heading back to the bottom again right now. We're just a few percentage points off of the bottom on the Russell 2000. I talk a lot about the small cap stocks on this channel, mainly the small cap high growth stocks. So the stocks that I talk about tend to mirror the Russell 2000 and the NASDAQ most closely. The small cap high growth stocks over the last 5 months are down even considerably more than the Russell 2000 is. So that's really the group that has been hit the hardest by far. Okay, I want to leave you with one more thought. I'd like to show you how these companies have historically done on their earnings report, because it is actually very good news. So let's take the two that are going today. First, Microsoft is reporting after the bell. So if you look at this chart, you'll see their last 4 earnings calls. These circles were what the market was expecting. These green dots were the actual. So they have beat on earnings 1, 2, 3, 4 times in a row. And earnings has gone up 4 quarters in a row. So Microsoft has an outstanding record of beating earnings, or at least matching earnings. So I am expecting the same thing from them today. So we will see. Obviously, please remember this is not financial advice. I don't know what their earnings are going to be. I just know they have a very solid track record of hitting earnings or beating earnings. So I feel good about Microsoft today. Okay, Google is reporting earnings today as well. And remember, Microsoft is the second biggest company by market cap. Google is the third biggest company by market cap. Let's take a look at their track record. Okay, so once again, you'll see the blue circles represent the market's expectation. The green dots represent the actual. So they are in a similar situation. This is 1, 2, 3, 4 quarters in a row where they have beat earnings each time, and earnings has gone up each time. So very similar scenario. Google has been pretty much a machine. They're also extremely reliable on earnings. So I'm also not expecting any problem here either. And again, I don't know. Until they report earnings, we don't know what it's going to be. But you can see at least they have a very consistent track record of beating earnings. Now, having said that, that also raises expectations because even just matching the market's expectation really isn't considered good enough for these 4 companies. They typically tend to beat expectations. So we're going to find out a lot at about between 4 and 4:30 this afternoon. Okay, now the two that report on Friday. Amazon, which is the 4th largest company in the United States. If we look at their track record, they did have one stumble. So out of the last 4 quarters, they beat once, twice, 3 times. In the 3rd quarter of 2021, they actually missed earnings by a little bit. So I don't know, if you look at this chart, it's kind of funny because They missed by a little bit in the third quarter, and then they totally destroyed earnings in the fourth quarter. So sometimes when you have back-to-back quarters like that, you've got to kind of average things out. This was a monster beat on earnings. It looks like they were expecting about $4 in earnings per share, and they got $28 in earnings. So that is the last time they reported. So expectations may be high here as well. So I have a certain confidence in Amazon. This business is also clockwork, but they did miss one time. And then last and probably most importantly is Apple. They report on Thursday. They are the biggest company in the US stock market. So Apple also has a very good track record. You'll see they beat earnings, and then here they filled in the blue dot, which means they hit earnings expectations. And then last quarter, they beat earnings again. And last quarter was another very big earnings quarter for them. Apple's another company that rarely misses on earnings. So we have 4 companies with an excellent track record. So that leaves me some hope that we're going to maybe bounce off of the bottom here. If more than one of these companies misses their earnings expectations, we could be in for a bumpy road over the next couple of weeks and potentially months. So I think it's critical. These 4 earnings reports are probably the most critical in a long time. So I will have my eye on these closely. I wanted to point all these out to everybody because I think everybody should be looking along. No matter what stock you're trading in, it will be affected by how these 4 companies report over the next 3 days. So again, today is a very down day. As I finish out the video, the NASDAQ is now down 3%. So that is a rare occurrence. That's a very, very negative day for the NASDAQ, and all the other indexes are not doing well either. So let's hope for good news after hours, and then we'll have to do this all over again on Thursday. So if you made it this far, please remember to subscribe to the channel and smash the like button. And thank you so much for watching, and best of luck investing. And I will see you with an update to this on Thursday. So thanks again, and we'll see you then.